This is Michelle Hughes from Ageless and Timeless. Today's podcast is brought to you by Water and Wellness. Recently, I had the opportunity to visit Water and Wellness at their offices, and I can tell you that as far as you and I are concerned and our health is concerned, this is one of the most important places that you can go to find water that is purified and products that will help your longevity and your overall health. Visit waterandwellness.com to learn how you can take control of your drinking water and learn about those natural additives to optimize your health and longevity. Contact Stacy at 877-296-6880. Use the Ageless code and you'll get a 20% discount on all your products.
My love for you is immeasurable. My respect for you immense. You're ageless, timeless, lace and fineness, your beauty and elegance.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Michelle Hughes at Ageless and Timeless, coming to you from Los Angeles today. And I have a very special guest. His name is Dr. Eric Fugier. And full disclosure, Eric is considered a celebrity dentist, but I'm one of his patients too. So I guess he lets the common man in and common woman in as well. But Eric has been practicing in West Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. And just a little background, Eric and I met because we have a mutual friend, Dee Servino, and Dee and I were having lunch one day, and I had just moved down to Los Angeles. This was about a year and a half ago. And she said, you know, Michelle, I've had so many problems, dental problems in New York. I was going to dentists that were not very good, and I ended up with huge issues. And then I moved out here, and I met through mutual friends a dentist that I just visited right before I'm having lunch with you. So she started telling me about Eric, and I said, you know what, I'm here. I need to have a dentist. I know I have some issues too. Everybody seems to have dental issues when they get a little bit older. And so I went to Eric, and he took me in right away. And well, from that point on, we started a relationship that spanned this year and a half. And I can honestly say, without any compunction about advertising for my guests, but I can honestly tell you that Eric is the very best dentist that I've ever experience in my entire life. So he deserves all the accolades that I can give him, and I know that many others, including Dee Dee, feel the same way. So Eric, welcome, and thank you for joining us. You're getting a big applause.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, and you know, I love the fact that you're from the south of France. I spent 3 beautiful weeks down in right by Cap d'Antibes, and my French is terrible, but my name is Michelle, so I guess I get a little bit of credit for that. But Eric, why don't you tell us just a little bit? I know what's on everybody's mind today is the coronavirus, but I want to first have people know a little bit about you. So why don't you just fill us in and give us some background about you as a professional medical person?
Well, I graduated in actually University of Marseille, Nice first, then Marseille. I practiced dentistry, is one of the top practice in Europe, in Monte Carlo, with an amazing dentist by the name of Serrano. He was a assistant professor at USC. So he took me under his wing. I learned a lot, and then through him, I met top dentist and professor at USC. They took me under their wings. I went to USC. I did a postgraduate program there. When I was done, I met with them. They took me in their practice, and then the adventure, the US adventure started. I never went back, even though I was supposed to, because my family was there. I had a great life in the south of France. As you know, it's beautiful. But my professional started here because here it was really at a different level. I was with Charlie Pincus, who was the dentist of the star, world-renowned dentist, father of aesthetic dentistry. He founded the Academy of Aesthetic Dentistry some 35 years ago, and on and on and on. And Dr. Thomas, also Dr. Thomas, two Hall of Fame at USC, was also a world-class dentist, teacher, renowned, and also a celebrity dentist as well. So I started with these people. When Charlie Pincus passed away, unfortunately, after 5 years, I took over his practice. I was teaching at USC. After that, I went into, did another degree of naturopathic medicine because I was really interested in the field. As I started doing yoga about 30 years ago, my life changed a little bit from the inside. Started to eat differently, and I was doing intense yoga every day, at least 6 days a week. So I started eating differently. I started thinking differently. I started having different kind of friends without even knowing it. And then I went into naturopathic medicine because it was a field that I was interested in, and I became a naturopathic doctor, which is a doctor in energy medicine, acupuncture, nutrition, all this type of natural medicine, herbs, etc. And then I started to also look at the mouth in a different way because of my background, and look at not just the mouth, but the entry to the whole body. The body is a digestive tube from here to here, and what we eat is exactly what we are. Everything you are the sum of all you have ingested through your mouth since the day you were born. Mm. So everything you eat is going to have an impact because it becomes part of you. So if you eat junk food and fast food, you will become junk. Not only physically, but mentally as well. I mean, there were studies saying that if you eat McDonald's every day, you will die eventually. You will shorten your life because the nutrition is horrible. So nutrition is the number one thing you can do for yourself and your immune system. Mm-hmm. So I started to look at dentistry as a whole, not just the mouth, but the whole body. Mm. And that's what it is. My own mother died of consequences of gum disease, because in France, it's very civilized for food, but for medicine and for dentistry, there's no hygienist, there's no prevention, there's very little treatment of gum disease. So she had good teeth, but she had gum disease untreated for many years. And the result of that is that her heart was damaged. She needed valve replaced. So fortunately, this happened at the end of her life. But it still took probably 15 good years of her life. Short-term, you'll have 15 years. So the consequences of untreated disease in your mouth, whatever is cavities or gum disease, can have enormous consequences to your health, to your general health. And it's been proven now by many studies. There's a connection between the mouth, the brain, the lungs, the heart, and the guts. There's a symbiosis between the floor of the mouth and the floor of the guts. And we all know that your guts is your key to your immunity and to your health. Mm-hmm. So if
that's what they're calling the microbiome, right?
Microbiome, yes. And in the mouth is the biofilm. So if your mouth is not healthy, at a normal state, your mouth has billions of bacteria. But when your mouth becomes diseased, either way because of cavity or gum disease, the quality of the bacteria become different, become more powerful and more nasty, and then the quantity also. And this will go into your bloodstream, into your lungs, into your heart, into your guts, and it will contaminate everything eventually. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, let's face it,
Right.
but it'll take time, but it will eventually do the damage. So
Right.
people need to understand that their mouth is the entry to their health and the key to their health.
So dental health is the gateway to your overall health. So if you see issues in the mouth, and you know that this can be a very real danger to a person's mortality, how do you go about abating the issues that you see when you do the micro of the inspection of the mouth, knowing that it is having and it will have a macro effect? What exactly would the protocol be to treat those kinds of dental diseases or dental issues to stop them from being anything worse for the whole body?
Well, the protocol is we do the same for everyone. When people have issues, obviously we do a little bit more, but I mean, we take x-rays, we do an examination, they go through hygiene, we measure the pockets in the mouth, and then we treat. The first thing we do in my office for new patients, we treat the mouth. And then we educate patients on how to do oral hygiene. They become part of the team. We're here to help them. They have a problem, and we're here to help them, to educate them, and to get them through their disease and to control it. Gum disease is not something that there's no magic bullet for it. Just like a virus, just like a bacterial disease, it's here to stay. We can control it with treatment, but it's always present and it's always here to come back. So it's basically a life when you're diagnosed with gum disease, with pearl disease, unless it's a temporary thing and you're young. When you have gum disease at a certain age, it's something that is going to stay, and that we're here, and we have a team, and you part of the team, and we're going to help you to control it. But it's going to be your responsibility to do the oral hygiene and the prevention every day, to see a hygienist every 3 months, to get regular checkup, and to do all the work.
So, Eric, what about lasers for gum disease? Are you using them, or do you believe in lasers as a remedial action for issues with gums?
Yes, I do believe in lasers. I've had several of them. I have 2 in my office right now. There's always new laser coming, doing new things like the Lapal system. So there's a lot of laser. I have 3 of them. I'm using 2 currently. They're great for gum disease. They're only a tool. It's not a miracle. It's not a miracle, but they're only a tool, and they facilitate the treatment. And so when you have gum disease, you go to a whole sort of protocol of cleaning, deep cleaning, maintenance, and in some cases we use the laser. We try to be minimally invasive. In this country, there was a lot of procedures that were done in the 70s and 80s that we don't do anymore because it's too aggressive. So we do less surgical approach and more approach that is less surgical and more preventive, and we get excellent result with it. And the laser is one of the tools that we use to treat gum disease and implant and bone disease as well. But it's only a tool. It's not a something that is going to cure you of anything. It's just a tool that we use. One of the tools that we use.
So, what is the most prevalent issue that you see? And let's just say most of our viewers are 40 and over. So we're addressing the adult population at the moment, not children. What is the most prevalent disease that you see in the mouth?
Well, beside cavities that are very common, I think the most important thing is the health of the bone and the tissue. We see at the middle age, which is 40s and 50s, we see a lot of gum disease that are untreated. And we're talking about patients that have been going to the dentist all their lives. That I've seen a hygienist every 6 months. They still have gum disease that are untreated because it was not diagnosed. So first of all, the gum disease have to be diagnosed. Once it's diagnosed, then you apply the right treatment and the right protocol. So what I'm recommending to your audience and to people in general is make sure you're going to a dentist that treat gum disease and hygienist that is properly trained to recognize it and to treat it.
But okay, so you said the gum disease and you said cavities. But how do people who really tell you, at least, that they have a good program, good diet, disciplines in terms of doing exercise and basically a healthy lifestyle, and yet they still have a constitutional weakness or just some predominance of cavities, and despite their good healthy lifestyle, how do you treat those kinds of patients who seemingly are doing everything right but yet still come to you with decay?
That is true. There are a small percentage of the population that is more prone to have cavities because they have, genetically speaking, they're prone to have cavities. They have a weak enamel. And even though they're not eating sugar and they're exercising and eating the right food and having the right nutrition, they're still having cavities or gum disease. These are weaknesses that you inherited when you're born, basically. You have a weakness in your mouth or in your heart or your lungs or your kidney. Everybody has a weakness somewhere, one or several. If you have that weakness, which is cavity or gum disease, which is very different, then you have to pay more attention and do more than the people that don't. And we're here as a team to help these people to do more, to maintain their mouth and in a healthy way until the day they died. So those diseases can be prevented, can be maintained with a little bit of extra work. And also we'll say that a lot of young people don't do the work, don't do the hygiene, don't do all the things they're supposed to do. And I think they should, because the earlier it's detected, the better off those patients will be.
So what is the quote more that they have to do? But I know the hygiene is important, and every 3 months is ideal rather than awaiting every 6 months. So that's one of the more. But what about the home hygiene? How do you teach them how to brush properly? Do you give them products that you feel will have a positive impact on bacteria, that will reduce the bacteria? I mean, what are some of the secrets, let's say? Yeah, the protocol.
Yeah, it's not a secret. I mean, it's every dentist should know that and should enforce those protocol on their patient. The patient that are susceptible to cavities, they will have to eat less sugar, obviously, and do better hygiene, do x-rays every year, have more control about the cavity level in their mouth. And they should be careful about what they eat. They should have better nutrition, more exercise, more frequent visit to the dentist to make sure that if there's cavity that is detected, it's done at the early stage and not at a stage 3 or 4 where they need a root canal or an extraction. Mm-hmm. So cavities, gum disease is not any different than cancer. You have stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. When it's treated as stage 1, it's minor. Stage 2 is more important, obviously. Stage 3 is a lot of damage that's been done already, more difficult. And stage 4, you start losing your teeth and you start having damage on some part of your body, which is your heart, your lungs. And those damage cannot always be measured, but they exist. And as you get older and your immune system diminishes, you will have the effect, and I'm convinced that millions of people die in the world every year at the effect of gum disease, for example. Because you don't die from gum disease, but you die from problem in your heart, problem in other part of the body.
Right. So are there products that you can tell us about that would be useful? I mean, some people I know use hydrogen peroxide, diluted, baking soda. I know that's not so good if you have crowns, but coconut oil, oil pulling. I mean, you hear so many. When you go on the internet today, and you can get kind of confused, and there's a lot of misinformation. So what do you advise people to use for their home care, and the kind of toothbrush and so forth that you think is ideal for the protocol that you just suggested?
Let me just say a word about oil pulling, because it's trend on the internet. There's no scientific evidence that oil pulling does anything for you. There are different protocols out there, and I think it's up to each dentist to implement their own protocol. In my office, for example, what we do.
We just lost you there. Oh, there. Okay, good. So in my office, we lost you for a moment, but go ahead, Eric.
All right,
you're good.
So in my office, what the most important we do is, first of all, to recognize there is a disease, a diagnosis. Once you diagnose that you have stage 1, 2, 3, or 4, then we implement a protocol. Start with the hygiene. We start with oral hygiene instruction. We teach you how to brush properly. We recommend electric toothbrush. Electric toothbrush are much better than manual. I'm very good with my hands, and I still use not 1 but 2 electric toothbrush. Why? For example, I'm going to tell you what I do myself, and I recommend to most of my patients. I start to brush with the Sonicare to remove most of everything. Then I floss properly. Most people don't know how to floss. Then I brush my tongue. Then I rebrush a second time with an Oral-B. That is a different movement. The first one is sonic, the other one is rotating. And after I've done that, I can tell you my mouth feels a lot better. Then you can do mouthwash. So if you have gum disease, you can do mouthwash with chlorhexidine. You can do mouthwash with natural product. You can do salt and water. You can use, in terms of toothpaste, you can use salt toothpaste. That is excellent. Why is salt good for you? Because bacteria don't live with salt. And they don't like it. So salt toothpaste is good for healing, it's good for your gums. It helps. I use it myself. And there are other toothpaste that are available that are good, but it's just one part of an overall protocol that you have to do. Good nutrition is very important. Exercise is important. And I emphasize that to my patient. You have to take your health into your hands, and you have to treat your mouth, which will benefit your entire body. If you're obese, you need to lose weight. If you are out of shape, you need to be in shape. You need to exercise. I exercise 2 hours a day, minimum, and more, and 4 or 5 hours on the weekend. And I think everybody at my age, in the 50s or 60s, should be exercising between 1 or 2 hours a day, minimum. And I do also yoga. I do Hatha Yoga, I do Ashtanga, I do Kriya Yoga, I do meditation. All those things have benefits to your overall health. And you should be boosting your immune system as well, because your immune system is important to fight your gum disease, to fight the virus, to fight everything. We're surrounded by bacteria and viruses. So we need to be strong.
All the time.
We need to be strong.
Mhm.
We can't wait
So,
until there's a pandemic
co-
to be strong. You need to be ready and you need to be strong because
right.
as you get older, your immune system needs to be boosted.
So, Eric, go back to the salt for a moment. Is there actually a brand of toothpaste that has salt that you recommend?
The one that I use is Weleda. It's a very well known. It's a German
Oh,
brand.
of course.
It's very good. They have different toothpaste, natural toothpaste.
Yeah.
They have skin. They have hair. Whatever. Their product is very good. I've used it since I was in France, so it's
Right.
40. So it's good product. There are other ones in the market, or you can make it yourself. You can take some
Right.
good salt, and you can take the salt and you can brush your teeth with salt. That's fine. You don't
But
need to buy an expensive toothpaste to do that.
but the salt does the salt scratch if you have crowns? So you have to be careful of,
Well,
or even enamel.
yeah,
Would if you don't have crowns, would it be something?
I don't think the salt is gonna
Yeah. Go
scratch
ahead.
your crown because crowns is porcelain, it's very strong. But I would recommend not the coarse, but salt
Mm.
fine. You can mix it with a toothpaste. You can mix it with aloe vera gel or whatever you want. You
Mm-hmm.
mean other things. You can make your own toothpaste
Mm-hmm.
with salt. I would recommend good salt, the salt of Guérande or salt of good salt, not just
Mm-hmm.
over-the-counter salt. But you can make your own.
That is such a good hint and tip because so much it's less expensive too. But if you
That's
took
expensive.
coconut, if you took coconut oil and put
Yeah,
Celtic
exactly.
sea salt that's not too coarse, and maybe a few drops of clove oil, would that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can make your
Okay.
own little mixture. You can make your own little toothpaste,
Right.
and you can look it up online and see what is done. And, absolutely.
Does baking soda substitute for salt, or is that better to just use
No,
the Celtic sea salt?
baking soda is very different. A lot of people use baking soda with, um, with hydrogen peroxide. And
Oh, with hydrogen peroxide. Okay.
yeah, they will use hydrogen peroxide. And hydrogen peroxide has some really good quality because it will kill anaerobic bacteria. And
Yeah.
and we have both in the mouth. So, all those things have benefits.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use everything, but you have to make a choice. So whatever
But
works for you.
But Eric, if you were going to use the hydrogen peroxide more as a mouthwash, do you have to dilute it? Isn't it too strong the way the 3% hydrogen peroxide? Wouldn't it be better to dilute it in water and then gargle with it?
You can use small quantity and dilute it. You don't want it
Hmm.
too strong, obviously, and you can
Right.
mix it with, as I say, you can mix it with other things as well.
Is it okay to use the hydrogen peroxide that you buy at like a Walmart versus the food grade that you get at Whole Foods, which is far more expensive, and if you swallow it, it actually is not going to be damaging. But which
Of
one
course,
do you
you don't
suggest
want to
are?
swallow the hydrogen peroxide because
Yeah,
it wouldn't be good for you, but it's something that you can brush your teeth with and then rinse. Same with the salt. I would not recommend to drink it or to eat,
right.
because
The food grade.
on large quantity, those things are not good. So you have to be careful, especially with the peroxide. Not something
Oh,
you want to swallow.
right. Okay. Okay. Good. Well, Eric, on everyone's mind today, of course, is the coronavirus, and we're all in lockdown, and we're all wondering where are we today? Where will we be? And how will we look at this as a learning experience? So, as a medical professional, what observations are you making about the virus, and what guidance would you give to all of us about how to manage through this terrible crisis?
Okay, so that's a big subject. the few things that I want to say about the virus is, first of all, stop watching the news. You can watch for 45 minutes or an hour to get update, but don't watch news too much. It's too negative and it's misinformation. The few things that I'm going to say about the virus are going to be positive. It's a nasty virus, there's no question, because of its speed of spread. But as far as the virus itself, I don't think it's any worse than a lot of virus that we have in this world, like the H1N1, like the other coronas, like the influenza, like the Ebola, like the dengue, like the malaria, those viruses kill a lot more people than the COVID-19. Why is this pandemic so scary? I don't know, because I guess we haven't had a pandemic that's proportioned for a long time, and people are not ready for it. But those things are going to happen. It's going to happen every so often. We've had them in the past, and we will have them in the future. Viruses and bacteria are part of this planet, and they have as much right to exist than we do. I know it's a harsh statement, but people have to understand that bacteria some are good. We have billions of bacteria in our system that are good, and a few are bad, just like people out there. Mostly people are good, but there's some bad people as well. Are we scared of them? No, we shouldn't be scared of viruses, because the virus will develop, will be less powerful. And the other thing is that the reason why we shouldn't be scared of the virus is because the virus is here to stay. It's not something that's going to happen for a month and disappear. It's going to be here. It's going to be here at fall. It's going to be here next year and the year after. It's going to be part of the virus family that we have learned how to deal with. So by fall, we'll develop a vaccine. People will be vaccinated. The virus will evolve, and it will be part of us. Virus doesn't want to kill us because we are the host. It wants to live with us. So it's our duty to be strong, to be able to resist this virus. This virus mostly kills people that are older with a deficient immune system and people that have health condition.
Right.
So the younger people that will be affected adversely by this virus are people that also have a weak immune system. You can have a weak immune system the day you're born. You can have a weak immune system at 10 years old or 20 or 30 or 40. You can be 40 and have the body of a 75 years old, or you can be 70 and have the body of a 40. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
Therefore,
that's the difference between chronological and biological age, which is something that most people don't always appreciate. But your chronological age can be very dramatically different than your biological. And your biological is measured by the health of your immune system and your organs and the rest of your functioning body. So, yeah. So
you're absolutely right, Michelle. You're absolutely correct right now.
Is absolutely true. Okay,
so
good.
what you're born is something that is a little more difficult to change. You're born with good and bad, but your age, the real important age is what you make out of your life. What I want to say is that it is your responsibility to have a strong immune system, to exercise, to eat a healthy food, and not to wait until something happened on the planet to be not prepared. Most people are not prepared. So the first thing that I want to say is that fear will diminish your immune system. So stay away from the TV. Listen to information that are informative and from the expert, with the doctors, with people. Go online and listen to people that are treating the viruses. people that are microbiologists, not those idiots on TV that are pundits, that it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
The news is a business, and they want you to be glued on TV to give you misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Trump was the first one to say fake news. They have been fake forever. We just didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I get my information, I don't watch the news. I stopped watching news 10 years ago. I get my information online from different outlets and from people that are experts. Because I did my studies in Marseille, I happen to know the team of Dr. Didier Raoult that work on this virus and many other viruses, and they have a proven treatment for this virus that is being implemented in this country. Some states are against it, some doctors are against it, but the reality is that it's working. It's working if you do it at an early stage. So this early stage is very important. So my recommendation is that if you do have symptoms, get medical attention immediately. Do not wait. Immediately get tested and get that treatment implemented right away. It's a very simple treatment, 6 days, and 90% of people recover.
Okay, so tell us what the treatment is, Eric.
The treatment is very simple. I wrote it here because I don't want to make any mistake. Hydrochloroquine. Hydrochloroquine is plaquenil. It's 200 milligrams. You take 3 a day. That's 600 milligrams a day for 6 days. Then associated with Z-Pak, everybody knows what Z-Pak is. It's a microlid, 250 milligrams the first day, and then 250 milligrams, which is 1 pill for the next 5 days. If you do that the first day of the symptom after being tested positive, you will be fine. And there's plenty of testimony of people that have done that. It was on the Extra show. And they recover overnight. So most people will recover. Older people at risk with medical condition will have severe issues, and some of them will die. Now, if you look at the number of deaths worldwide, 12,000 people died so far worldwide from the virus, which is a fraction from what the influenza virus every year, which is the regular flu, kills about 500,000 people every year. Nobody cares. Nobody said a word about that. In my opinion, this is a very serious pandemic, but it's overblown. I believe that in 2 weeks in California, with the hot weather coming, you'll be gone. New York is getting hit hard because they are on each other. It's a small, and they have very bad weather right now. It's cold and raining and dumpy. So they're going to have a tough time. So they should quarantine them, and they should put their effort in New York. But I bet you that Los Angeles, in 2 weeks, the virus will be gone and we'll be back to work. This is what I hope anyway.
Well, why did Garcetti come out yesterday in a very, very troubling statement? He said, we will be in lockdown in Los Angeles until at least May and maybe longer. Why is he saying that? That's scaring everybody.
I don't know where he gets his information, but I think, he wants to scare you maybe. I don't know. But the thing is that, they did certain things. For example, I'm a tennis player and I need to exercise. Thank God I have a gym in my house so I can continue to do my yoga in my gym and my exercise. And I walk around the area where I am and I run. I do the hills. But they closed the parks in Los Angeles. They closed my tennis club, which when you play tennis, you play 100 yards from each other, right? But they left the kitchen open with 6 guys in a small place that are touching each other and without a mask and preparing your food. I think that's nonsense. I think the kitchen is a liability.
Mhm.
If you buy food already made, be very careful, because right now in my house, we don't buy cooked food. Everything is cooked in my house. We buy the
Mhm.
food, we clean it, we washed everything, and we cook it. So I
Right.
recommend cooked food, and I recommend not to go buying food already cooked, because
Mhm.
that's a liability. And when you go to the market, put a mask. I put mask and gloves, and then I when I go to my car, I remove the gloves and I'm done.
And
Because
then they
this,
say when you get home, take what you bought and wipe it down with the disinfectant wipes.
no, you
Wipe
don't want
down.
to disinfect the food, but you want to wash them.
Well, I meant the packaging that it comes in before you
Oh
handle
yeah,
it.
yeah. Of course, yeah. The packaging, you can do that exactly.
Like even when you get an Amazon box, they said to wipe down the
Yeah, you need to
box.
be careful. Well, or you open it with gloves. You
Yeah,
can do that.
right.
Sure. You have to be really mindful what to do. The other hygiene trick that I have also, that I do for myself, and I tell my kids to do, is that when you brush your teeth and you all this and you wash your face, when you come home from the market, take all your clothes, wash them, and
Oh,
take your shower, wash your hair, wash your skin, brush
wow.
your skin as well. Make sure you clean yourself when you come out from the market, and then at night when you go to bed, you take a Q-tip, a little bit of uh,
Hyd-
peroxide, yeah,
hyd-
hydrogen peroxide.
yeah,
Clean your ears with it,
yeah,
your nose,
yeah,
because this virus will not go through your skin,
yeah.
but it will go, the entry will be the mouth, the nose, the eyes, and the ears. So
Right.
then you make sure you put drops in your eyes, you clean your ears, you clean your nose, you wash your mouth, you brush your tongue, you do all those things. So
Yeah.
this hygiene routine is very important, right?
Well, if we're going to look at the light at the end of the tunnel, this pandemic, if it's establishing new habits of hygiene for people,
It's
will be
good,
a
positive.
very positive thing, because I was laughingly saying that the world has never been so clean as
True,
when you see people walking around and washing the surfaces with their wipes, and
true,
taking
true.
precautions that we never were really that concerned about. So it's opened an awareness for cleanliness that may actually be a good thing if we want to look for something positive that could come out of this.
You're very right, Michelle. I believe that there's no good without bad, and no bad without good.
Mm-hmm.
Comes as a package.
Mm-hmm.
This virus is gonna bring a lot of good things. As one of them is this, and also a certain consciousness about who we are, what do we do, uh,
Mm-hmm.
are we destroying the planet, and for what? For the benefits of a few. So we need to think about all those things, because
Well, you're
this
right, Eric, and also about how do we relate to each other
exactly.
in conditions that have changed dramatically, where we're not in face to face, we have to deal with each other by remote, and we have to, it's going to change how corporations do their business, and actually even affect the of course travel and airlines and hotels, because more and more people, companies are going to realize you don't need to get on an airplane to have a meeting, when we can do the exact same
What we're doing
accomplish
right
the
now.
exact same results by doing it remotely. It's a lot more efficient.
That's true. You're absolutely right. My kids are in school for the last 2 weeks at home.
Mm-hmm.
They are fine. They're adjusting to it. They prefer, obviously, to be in school. Now they're going to appreciate going to school, because it was
Exactly.
taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going to appreciate to go to work, because they've been confined in the house. They're going to appreciate a lot of things that they took for granted. They're going to appreciate people that they're delivering food to them, or packages, people that are cleaning the house, people that are putting their life on the line right now, which is social workers, which is police, which is people that work in hospital, nurses and doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
these people are really important. We
Mm-hmm.
don't pay
Yeah,
attention to them on a
right.
daily basis, but they are the ones that are making our life possible.
Mm-hmm.
So in
Huge
terms of rights,
sacrifices for, and
yeah,
they're
the
putting their,
sacrifices,
yeah, they're
yes,
putting their health at risk to help others, which is,
to make this
somehow or other
exactly.
yeah.
And so it's on a conscious level, the world is going to evolve because of this hardship right now and to this challenge. So we'll rise to the challenge, and the world will be better off after this. The other thing is that, as I said, this virus is not going away. It's going to come back attenuated. We'll have a vaccine. It'll be part of the viruses family that we have. We have tons of them, and everything will go back to normal. There's no reason to create panic and to make it worse than what it is, because the panic itself will be worse than the virus itself. We just have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that we need to live with the virus, and we need to do what we have to do to be prepared, to build our immune system, and to be healthy.
So are you able to see patients during the lockdown?
No, we've actually been closed this week and last week. I only see emergency patients,
I see.
and because
So,
it's my duty
right,
to.
but so what's going to happen to people who want to do the hygiene that they're, being recommended to do? How are they going to take care of the maintenance and the preventative side of their health,
Well,
dentistry speaking?
the hygiene has been suspended right now because we're on lockdown. I don't think this lockdown is going to last very long, maybe another week or so. I think this, at least in this part of the country, it's going to get better as it gets warmer. The virus will disappear just like it came. As I say, New York is getting hit hard, and it will be for a while. But here, I think I bet you that after Easter, everything is going to go back slowly to normal.
Well, I sure hope you're right, and that Garcetti is just lobbying for something. That's what I thought about Gavin Newsom. That okay, he wants $1 billion. I'm sorry to say, but some of the, I know he's very concerned about the health of the people here in California. However, there is a doom and gloom about their predictions that sometimes, they say your thoughts create your reality. So if everybody's thinking doom and gloom, then guess what's going to happen? Everybody's going to
Yeah,
visualize that outcome. So we have to go the other
it's
way and not
I,
be politicizing.
you're right. You're right, Michelle. The mental aspect of this pandemic has been very poorly addressed by our leaders that are actually not so much leaders. Garcetti, Newsom, all the people on TV that comes and are negative are doing the wrong thing, because the mind has to be positive no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
This is the government of our 7 trillion cells. And if we
Mm-hmm.
start negative things will happen. So I
Mm-hmm.
would say everything is going to be okay. We will survive. The people that are dying is unfortunate, but that's their karma.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest will live, and we'll be ready next time we have a virus coming in.
Right. We
So
hope we learned from our experiences.
we
Well,
we need to learn from our experiences, from our mistakes. We need to
our
be in
mistake.
better shape. We need to eat
Mm-hmm.
better nutrition, and we need to boost our immune system. That's my recommendation for today. The
Mm-hmm.
virus will go away. I bet you that in 2 weeks we'll be up and running in California.
Mm-hmm.
Most
Well,
part of California anyway.
yeah, people criticize Trump for setting an objective, and I know the health experts were diminishing some of the impact of what he said. They were running damage control when he said that we'd be back in business by Easter. Well, what Trump is doing is what you're saying right now, which is he's trying to create positive thoughts for a positive outcome. Some can criticize him for being way too unrealistic in his expectations and his statements. But I think what you're saying is baseline. He's trying because, of course, he wants everybody to be healthy, but he also wants the economy and the. He said that our country is not made to be on lockdown.
No,
So,
for sure.
but there's so much politics around this whole thing, particularly during an election year. So I think we could go off on a tangent on that one. But, Eric, we're going to run out of time here. And I know you had said you wanted to offer our viewers a chance to get to know you better if they desire. First of all, how do they reach you if they're interested in having a consultation?
How do they?
What's the best way to? Yeah, what's the best way to find you? I know you have a website. Why don't you tell us what your website is
The
first?
website is www.ericfugier.com or www.drericfugier.com. So that's one side. This
Okay.
is you can get us, or they can just call the office and 310-859-1575. I mean, we're locked down, but I'm sure.
And let's take a. Sorry to interrupt you, Eric. Take one moment, just spell your name for them because not everybody speaks French. So.
Right, so my name is Eric. The first name is Eric, ERIC, and the last name is Fugier, F as in Frank, UGIER, Fugier.
Okay. So now I know you had a wonderful offer, generous offer for our clients, our viewers. So can you elaborate on that?
I know we discussed it, but I think you can say because I don't remember what the offer.
Okay. Well, I remember very well, but no, you had mentioned Invisalign. We didn't even talk about Invisalign today, but you did say that you would give a special price on new patients for Invisalign. So take a moment and just tell us what Invisalign can do for a patient who is interested, and what I believe you said it was a $500 discount for the first time patient.
So Invisalign is a great tool to straighten your teeth.
Yeah.
There's different ways you can straighten. You can use regular braces. You can use lingual braces. You can do removable appliances. Or you can do Invisalign. Invisalign is just one tool, or you can use your finger and push it like this.
Oh, Eric.
Not practical.
I don't think you really want to recommend that.
No, I don't. It was a joke. So, Invisalign, we've been using it for more than 15 years. It's a great tool. It's invisible trays. I mean, transparent trays, and we treat in my practice in our office, because I have two partners. We treat anybody that has teeth that are not aligned, because first of all, it will get worse as you get older. And also, we also believe that when your teeth get crooked or are crooked, it also influences your posture, because everything should be aligned properly.
Right.
So when your teeth moves, that means your skeleton also moves. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you can have like many years without your teeth moving, and then suddenly they start moving because you have skeleton changes. So this have to be looked at, corrected, and your skeleton can be also corrected. If you have, for example, a leg shorter than the other one, it should be corrected. Otherwise, you're going to need hip replacement. And all those things have to be looked at, diagnosed, and treated. And usually the treatment is fairly simple if you do it at early stage. But if you wait years, then it's more complicated to treat. So we recommend Invisalign. It's a great tool. It's easy. It's inexpensive, and so we'll give a $500 discount, which is subsequent, because, for example, it's a couple of $1,000 to do one arch, and for a complicated treatment, we're talking about $4,000, which is half of the price of braces, basically, in this town anyway. So I think it's a great tool, proven, working, and we use it all the time here. We use it a lot. We do a lot of cases.
Well, I think that's very generous, and for those who are in need, this could be the place for them to go at least, and you would give them a consultation first, correct? They would come
Yes.
in and meet with
Yeah,
you, and then
we'll
just
give
like
them
you said,
a free consultation.
yeah. And then what about, we didn't have a chance to talk, and I'm going to have you come back at a future time when the virus isn't such a topic that is on everybody's mind, and we can talk about other things. But for example, I would love you to comment in the future, not today, on fluoride and also on TMJ, because those are two conditions that people, using fluoride or not using it is one question, and then TMJ, which is seems to be endemic to a lot of people. Their bite is off. They just need adjustments to their jawline, right? And you can help them with that as well. So let's leave that for the future. But Eric, thank you so much for taking time from your even with the lockdown, I know you have a very busy schedule. So thank you for sharing your ideas and your suggestions for us. And you have a very wonderful day.
Thank you so much for having me, and have a great day too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Well, we're very lucky at Ageless and Timeless because our guests are some of the best in their fields, and certainly Dr. Eric Fugier is no exception to that rule. And I feel really very blessed that we're able to have such talent come onto this podcast and share with us their ideas and their experiences that will help us to live a healthier and a more ageless and timeless life. So this is Michelle Hughes for Ageless and Timeless. Thank you very much for joining us today, and you have a beautiful day.
My love for you is immeasurable. My respect for you immense. You're ageless, timeless, lace and fineness, your beauty